Welcome to this week's Ancient Amnesia Podcast.
We know that most star systems are binary. We now are suspecting that our particular sun could be binary. We could have a far out-reaching sun that is doing an elliptical and some large elliptical with ours.
Why does our sun continue to change? You know, you got to figure. They say that we're reacting to our sun, but isn't our sun going to react to something else? You know, everything's fractal. Yeah, like you said, there could be external influence on our sun that creates it to do what it does or to behave the way it does. You know, just influences that don't even affect us.
There isn't even a field of science called galactic physics, okay? Because it isn't yet to be discovered because we're not even smart enough to get past our own solar system, and we're still toying around with that as it is. But there is galactic physics. There is a science of the galaxy. The galaxy has a center. The center is doing something. There's forces in there that are interacting. You know, there's out there theories that I've read that are really appetizing to entertain, such as that the center of the galaxy, what they call the galactic sun, is sending information via light and via electro, you know, kind of basically like the electric universe theory is talking about. It's sending out information.
It's a plasma. Everything's a plasma.
Yeah, like it's a plasma that's sending information from the central sun out to the stars. The stars, in turn, are reacting to their own systems that are then, you know, birthing planets that can host life, things like that. So, you know, this idea of us being just kind of localized in our own little system needs to kind of really vanish. We need to realize this is way bigger than we think.
That's crazy.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. You know, when you're in a field and you're planting a crop, you know, you don't just look at the ground and see a bug and go, okay, well, that's the bug we have a problem with. You know, you got to realize bugs have wings, you know, and they fly around and they come from other places and they eat your crops, you know, and it's like, to think that we're just flying through space and, you know, if our volcano that we live near didn't erupt today and tomorrow, then we're okay. You know, we're good. You know, it's no, you can be, you know, hit by something so huge that it would erase that volcano and you and everything that lives on this planet, you know, and it didn't happen the last time that we flew through that particular part of space, but it can this time, you know, and that's the thing. There's such a perfect, predictable fractal nature to the universe and the galaxies that we live in the solar system. Things have happened now that we've never planned for, even though we've been, you know, this particular life form has been around for 2 million years, you know, and we've recorded every bit of time we've traveled through space in that 2 million years, and we've never been hit by anything like this. And then all of a sudden, you know, that's how random it is, you know, that's how life is.
Right. Yeah. And if you want to start looking at like you know, that idea of the central sun sending out information to the stars that then in turn power the planets and go from there. I mean, we've posted recently on mycelium and how there's a fungus, there's a bacteria in the ground and the soil that is, by the way, communicating electrically, right? Like through electrical, you know, information. It's going through this bacteria, and it's communicating with 90% of the forest, all the trees. 90% of all the trees are getting information from this fungus, which essentially is like a neural network. And it's a brain.
It's a brain.
It's a brain. Well, okay. Well, then what does that make the sun? If we fractal things out, we know that as below, so above, and that we can look at star systems being connected to each other and sending information to each other in what could be a plasma, which we know exists. This isn't all, you know, this is real science. Like, these guys have discovered this plasma. They know it exists.
Well, they call it dark matter, but really basically what it is it's electrified gas, you know?
Right. And so again, like, we need to kind of start thinking about our system as a small plant in a forest, and we need to start looking out at the forest and saying, wow, like, there's other trees out here and they're all interacting with each other, and that tree over there, you know, does something to this one over here, and we're just a piece of it. So
what if that pine cone falls on us?
Yeah, exactly. and that happens, right?
Sure it does.
So, yeah. So anyway, I thought that was
what the pineal gland is so important for. They, you know, Earth was hit by a giant pine cone back then, you know, and they recorded it for posterity.
Right. So it does have a beautiful fractal nature. The
yes,
pine cone.
it does.
It's that whole cosmic kind of circle of life spiral, the Fibonacci spiral. So again, and that's why we want to think of things in fractals. Like we can see what's happening on the planet and realize that some of these principles are happening on a cosmic level.